When it comes to resistance training, there are a number of myths and misconceptions. One misconception is that you should use lighter weights and perform a high number of repetitions if your desire is to tone, whereas you should use heavier weights and perform a lower number of repetitions if your desire is to bulk up. For some women, the fear of building big, bulky muscles has caused them to limit their strength training program to only light weights and high repetitions, whereas on the other hand, it has led many men who want to add muscle mass to exclusively train with heavy weights and low repetitions. It is important to note, first and foremost, that genetic factors are largely responsible for an individual's muscular responses to resistance training. This is especially true for women who are typically smaller in size, have less muscle tissue, and produce lower levels of testosterone than their male counterparts. With that being said, only a very small percentage of women possess the genetic potential to truly bulk up, as even most men are unable to add large amounts of muscle mass despite their physiological advantages. When it comes to resistance training, several studies have shown similar improvements in muscular strength, endurance, and size from both high repetition and low repetition training. These studies examine training responses of both men and women of various ages and ability levels, following slightly different training protocols. The conclusion of each study, however, was similar, and therefore the results suggest that resistance training with lighter weights and higher repetitions, or heavier weights and lower repetitions, can produce similar muscular responses, as long as the exercise set fatigues the muscle within the limits of the anaerobic energy system, which is in less than 90 seconds. So what does this mean to you and your resistance training program? Essentially, you could, for example, use heavier weights and perform 5 repetitions to fatigue in 30 seconds, or you could opt for lighter weights and perform 15 repetitions to fatigue in 90 seconds. Based on the research, both options are beneficial in terms of positively affecting muscular strength and endurance. Remember, however, that the desire is to fatigue the targeted muscles within 90 seconds. Therefore, it is an inefficient approach to train with very light weights in which you can perform an exercise for a duration of 2 minutes or more, as this will have limited benefit in terms of overall muscle development. Keep in mind that regular resistance training has an assortment of health benefits, including increased strength of muscle and bone and decreased risk of injury. Strengthening exercises have also been shown to improve balance, coordination, and mobility, and reduce symptoms of chronic diseases such as arthritis, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So are you ready to start your resistance training program? You can find an ACE-certified personal trainer or follow our at-home, no-equipment workout designed by ACE exercise physiologists on the Get Fit section of our website at www.acefitness.org. And we'll see you next time.